Good afternoon and welcome to Boston Asian Radio and TV English Daily News Today. I am your host, Lei. Here's a look at the top stories making headlines today. Employees tied up at gunpoint during armed robbery at New Hampshire business. Temporary shutdown of MBTA Red Lines Ashmont branch affects Mattapan and Dorchester stations. Boston police officer injured trying to stop runaway car after Allston accident. Severe racial discrimination in Boston subway. Boston residents face series of USPS mailbox thefts. Employees tied up at gunpoint during armed robbery at New Hampshire business. An armed robbery occurred at a business in New Hampshire. The perpetrators, armed with firearms, entered the establishment and confronted employees. During the robbery, the employees were physically restrained and tied up at gunpoint. The suspects then proceeded to carry out the robbery, which may have involved theft or other criminal activities. This incident highlights the severity of the situation, as employees were subjected to a dangerous and traumatic experience during the robbery. Law enforcement authorities are likely conducting an investigation to apprehend the suspects involved. Temporary shutdown of MBTA Red Lines Ashmont branch affects Mattapan and Dorchester stations. The MBTA Red Lines Ashmont branch will undergo a temporary shutdown, impacting Mattapan and Dorchester stations. Here's a brief summary. The Ashmont branch of the MBTA Red Line, serving stations in Mattapan and Dorchester, is scheduled for a temporary shutdown. During this period, passengers will be affected and regular train services at these stations will be disrupted. The shutdown is likely due to maintenance or improvement work, as such closures are often essential for ensuring the safety and functionality of the transit system. To minimize inconvenience to passengers, shuttle buses or alternative transportation options may be provided during this period. Boston police officer injured trying to stop runaway car after Allston accident. In an incident in Boston's Allston neighborhood, a police officer was injured in a vehicle accident on Cambridge Street. The officer was reportedly responding to a call with lights and sirens activated when the accident occurred. The collision involved two vehicles, and the impact caused significant damage to both cars. Emergency responders arrived at the scene promptly, providing immediate medical attention to the injured officer. The extent of the officer's injuries was not disclosed in the report, but they were transported to a local hospital for further evaluation and treatment. The circumstances leading to the accident are currently under investigation by the Boston Police Department's Accident Reconstruction Team. The accident temporarily disrupted traffic flow in the area, but the road was later reopened after the scene was cleared. Severe racial discrimination in Boston subway. In a recent incident, a group of teenagers racially targeted a Boston woman on the subway. The victim, Vivian Dang, who has lived in Boston for many years, experienced a terrifying event on the evening of September 21. At around 10 p.m., while she was on a Red Line train headed to Ashmont, a group of 5 to 6 teenagers boarded the train and threatened passengers with robbery. They then turned their attention to Dang, surrounded her, verbally abused her, and even attempted to prevent her from leaving the train. Another passenger signaled Dang to come closer to ensure her safety. However, she couldn't leave and, in fear, found herself trapped among the group. To make matters worse, one of them pushed a bicycle into her face. These teenagers later smashed the train's windows and fled the scene. Dang got off at JFK UMass Station and reported the incident to the police. Boston residents face series of USPS mailbox thefts. Boston residents have reported a string of USPS mailbox thefts that have resulted in substantial losses. Several residents claim that checks they mailed were stolen by thieves who altered the amounts during the mailing process, leading to losses of thousands of dollars. Some residents have taken measures like installing surveillance cameras in an attempt to catch the thieves, but are urging authorities to step up efforts to combat and address such crimes. These thefts involve thieves using specific types of keys to open USPS mailboxes, which are universal for multiple mailboxes within a certain area. After stealing checks from the mail, the thieves can alter the check amounts and cash them. Boston residents have reported a string of USPS mailbox thefts that have resulted in substantial losses. Some residents have taken measures like installing surveillance cameras in an attempt to catch the thieves, but are urging authorities to step up efforts to combat and address such crimes. Stay tuned for more updates on Boston news as it develops.